Alright guys, today we're taking a look at the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus that I just received here today. We're going to be doing an unboxing of it so I can show you guys exactly what comes in the package. And we're going to do really quick early impressions of turning the tablet on, seeing what the screen looks like and what the S Pen can do and things like that really quickly to show you guys a glimpse of what this tablet can do. So let's go ahead and dive in.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a recce is the gaming tech, gaming techie is the gaming tech, gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here we are with the Tab S7 Plus unboxing and a little bit of an overview here. So I just got this in the mail, so let's go ahead and unbox this thing together here. I already unsnapped the back, so we're good here. This is the 256 gig model that I got, non-cellular, because I got the cellular version of the iPad back when I had it and I never used it. So I decided to get this version without it, but do know that you can get these with 5G on it. Unfortunately, 5G is not even available in my area, so it'd be even more pointless for me, since it's not here anyway. Alright, so I'm really excited to get this tablet into my hands as somebody who hasn't owned an Android tablet in a long time at this point. So let's put this to the side for a minute, see what's in the box. I haven't owned an Android tablet in like 5 years at this point, because I've always had an iPad and I was tired of the iPad due to like not having xCloud support and Stadia support and all that other stuff, and I decided to finally give Android a full test again with the tablet that everyone says is the best tablet to own. So as somebody who already owns a Galaxy S20 Ultra and happy with that, I'm excited to dive into this one. So right off the bat here, we got the fast charger here. This is a 15 watt charger. Do note that if you own the Galaxy S20 charger, the Ultra, and it's the 45 watt, because this can support up to 45 watts, you can use that and it will charge this tablet much faster than this can. If not, the 45 watt charger is sold separately. And then of course we got the USB-C cable here. So just a regular USB-C cable here for the charger. And then over here, you got the SIM card unlock, or the to put the SD card in there. Even though this isn't a SIM card model, this SD card goes in the same spot. And then we got the quick reference guide and the terms and conditions. And then what's really cool about this one is that this actually comes with the S Pen. And the reason I'm excited about that is because I never actually owned the pen on the Apple tablet, because I'm not really a drawer or anything, but also because it's sold separately. And this actually comes with it, so this will give me an opportunity to kind of mess with this and use it. And some of the air actions that you could do with this is cool, which we'll get into here in the video, that I'm looking forward to checking those out as well. So now that we have that taken care of, let's put the S Pen here to the side and let's get into the tablet itself. So if we pick this back up, now something else I'm going to get used to here, and it feels fine already in my hands, is that I actually own the regular 11-inch tablet for the iPad, and I decided to get the bigger version of this one. This is the Plus version, so it's a 12.9-inch screen. So I'm definitely excited to take a look at this and have a bigger tablet than I've ever had before. And yeah, it's definitely bigger than my old tab, like iPad. When I'm holding it in my hands, I can see that the screen's definitely bigger. But let's take a look around before we power this on, what we have going on here. So let's start with the back. So here on the back, you see the Samsung logo, AKG, which is the brand that they use for their speakers. And then you got the camera bump here. There's a small camera bump that you can see when you hold the tablet to the side. There's a small camera bump. But and this thing up here is actually how you magnetically hold the S Pen. So it actually charges this way. If you actually you have to put the tip of the pen in this direction. You can't flip it around or it won't work. But if you flip it this way, it kind of magnetizes itself right there. And you can kind of just leave it there. I am going to be also getting the keyboard case for this unit here in the next couple of weeks. It's on back order, so I'll be doing another follow-up when I use the keyboard and all of that stuff. So definitely look forward to that. Now, if you take a look at the side of the tablet here, you can see the 3-pin connector that's at the bottom, and that is just used for the keyboard tablet that the keyboard unit that I was talking about that I'll be getting here in the future. So I'll be looking at that. And then turning it around on the other side on here, you can see it has the speakers. There's speakers on all four corners. There's 2 speakers on the other side as well, and this is the USB-C charger that goes in there. Here on the flip side, on the top is where the micro SD card slot goes. And here is the volume up and down rocker here. And here's the microphone and the power button, of course. And then on the other side, as I said, there's 2 speaker grills again with another microphone port here, so dual microphone ports. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on for the first time. I'm really excited to see how nice looking the screen is, because that is the main takeaway of what everyone said about this tablet, is the screen is gorgeous and really, really looks much better than what the iPad can do, especially when it comes to like HDR video content watching and stuff. This is basically the media tablet. If you're a media fan like I am, you know, this is going to be excellent for that. And that's one of the main reasons I didn't really have an issue with moving over from the iPad, is because what I've noticed is there's a couple of main things I use the tablet for. And that is, for one, media watching, like YouTube and Netflix and stuff. This is going to be way better than the iPad. Number 2, I'm now starting to get into, I've always played games on it, but now I'm actually getting into more games with xCloud and stuff, and you can't even do that on the iPad, so now this is going to be my go-to for gaming. And then third is for video editing, when I want to edit these YouTube videos, and I use Adobe Rush, and it's been working great so far on the Android phone that I have, so I expect the same on this tablet, so I should have that covered. It's not as good as what LumaFusion used to be on the iPad, but it should still suffice for the stuff I need. And then everything else is just regular web browsing and stuff, so everything else should be kind of the same. So going through this setup here, we're not going to do that. We're going to choose a Wi-Fi network. Alright, so we got that connected there, so let's go ahead and hit next. See if this thing has any updates. So that part is done. Now you can actually set up facial recognition or fingerprints. There actually is a fingerprint reader underneath the display, so let's go ahead and set that up now. Alright, so before you can register that, you still need a PIN, so let me put in a PIN here. Got that going. Alright, so you can see the sensor pops up here on the side, and then you just kind of, you know, do what you're supposed to do. And your fingerprint is added. Finally at the home screen, and guys, I can tell you just by looking at this, the screen is so good looking. Like, the image quality right here, that's probably not showing in the actual video here. This looks like something I could touch. Like, it just looks really, really good. And you know what? Let's go ahead and see if we can get YouTube loaded up. And well, actually, let's take a look at the settings. Let's see if this is actually comes stock as it's supposed to with the display. So let's go ahead and see what the settings are at. So you can see the screen is 120 hertz, so it is set to 120 hertz for smooth animation. You can see the differences there. The only reason you would ever turn it off at this point is if you want to save battery life, but we're definitely not going to be doing that. And that should be it, because one of the differences between my Galaxy S20 and Ultra and this one is that you can actually have the motion 120 hertz on, along with it being the full resolution of the display. On the S20 Ultra, you have to choose either the highest resolution with 60 hertz or medium resolution instead. So I don't know why, if that's a battery concern or something, but it's good to see that on here you can actually just use it as is. So I'm excited for that. So now that we see that, let's go ahead and open up YouTube here real quick, and let's pull up a video so I can see it for the first time and see how this actually looks now. YouTube looks really, really good on here. So let's go ahead, and I'm already signed into YouTube, which is nice. One of the videos that I actually like to watch is 4K HDR. It's usually one of the first ones that pop up. Yep, it's this Costa Rica one. Let's go ahead and see what our resolution is set to. HDR is definitely coming up, and you can see 1440p 60 HDR is showing up. Let's turn that on. Let's take a look at this here. Yeah, this is looking fantastic. I wish this came apparent between the video you guys are watching and what I'm watching right now, because it looks so good on this display right now. I was already impressed with the Galaxy S20 Ultra, which is what I was using before this, and this just looks even better. It just looks so good. This is one of my favorite videos to watch when I'm showing off a display either on TV or on here, but man, does this look good. Alright, so let's back out of that, even though I can mesmerize myself and watch that forever. Unfortunately, since you guys can't really see it, it's kind of pointless for us to waste time on it because you guys can't see how good it actually looks. But let's go ahead and look into the settings here. Let's take a look at those features with the S Pen that we have. So I believe they're under possibly advanced features. Yep, S Pen. And then Air Actions. So we can attach it to the back like it's telling us to do. I'm not used to attaching this to the back, so I'm going to have to actually look. So now that it's connected here, it's going through the Air Action stuff. Open apps, take pictures, control music, and more with touching your screen. You can do some Air Actions just by pressing the pen button once or twice. For Air Actions that involve gestures, hold your S Pen with the tip facing away from you, hold the actual button that's here on the side of the S Pen. So let's go ahead and try this out. To connect your S Pen, attach it to the back of your tablet. All right, so it's going to like a sort of like tutorial again. So let it connect. Thing is done. Try the up action. So what we do, we're going to take the pen, and like it said, there is a button on the side here on the actual pen that you guys can see there. So that is what I'm going to hold. It says hold the S Pen with the tip facing away from you, press and hold the button, and flick your S Pen up. Go a little slower. All right, so I went too fast. Great job. Alright, so hold your S Pen with the tip facing away from you, try the left action. Press and hold the button, then flick your S Pen to the left. So you're kind of doing gestures in the air, and you have to kind of memorize these and get used to them, because obviously you're not going to know. You know how to actually do this correctly. You can see I have to go faster sometimes, so it's something to get used to. But once you actually have it down, it seems like it'd be really cool. So let's exit the tutorial for now. Let's go back into Air Actions. Let's look at this ourselves. So the battery of the S Pen doesn't come charged, so we need to charge that. But what's really cool is you can make it do certain things. So you can choose when you hold down the button what you want it to do. So right now it's being set open to camera, but you can choose whatever app you want to actually open up when you hold that button down. And you could do choose what happens when you press and hold the button and do the following actions. And you can, choose that what this back button does, it goes back. But you can also do all these gestures here and make it do something else instead. So when you do the screen write, it's going to open the screen write application, but you can change it to do whatever you want. It doesn't have to be what it comes with. And it also gives you some options here. Choose what happens when you press the pen and the below apps, and it gives you a bunch of different things, that you can do. So when you press it once in this app, you can take a picture, which is really cool. Switch cameras, all these sorts of things that you can customize and take a look at what you can do with this S Pen, which is really nice. So all these different things that you can do within all these different applications. So I'm excited to get this S Pen because it's not just a drawing thing. Now you can do gestures with it. Now you can actually use it in certain apps that, as you get used to using certain things, you can actually use. So I'm really excited for all of that. So definitely looking forward to that. And even on the side here, you can see that the S Pen is registering without me even touching the screen that it's there. And you can pop up the air command. And then you can also create a note right here, smart select, screen write, live messages, air doodle, translate, pen up. So, and you can add different shortcuts and stuff. So it's really easy to get to these applications when you want to, just by hovering over right here and creating a quick note. So that's really nice. Let's go ahead and go back to the home screen here. Something else I wanted to show you guys is, of course, the multitasking, because that's something I'm really excited about on how Samsung has done really, really well with this multitasking. So if you see the little thing that's showing up here in the corner, if I were to pop this up, you can see that this pops up. And you could do one of a couple of things. You can pull up messages, for example, or let's take settings, for example. You can drag it, and you can pop it up in the middle. And now the settings is popped up in the middle. And when you click on this blue thing up here, you can actually make it into a bubble if you want. And then it becomes a little bubble that you can kind of move wherever you want and kind of get to it back later, which is really cool. You can open it back up. You can make it full screen if you want. So if you click on this and then click the full screen, then it goes to full screen. If you want to exit this, you can just exit that out. And then again, if you pull it up and drop it in here, you click this little thing again, you can actually make it so it actually goes and splits view. So it will go to the left-hand side right now, and that's your settings. And then you can continue working on something on the left and still have access to all of this if you want. And then same thing, you can take another thing here, open it up. Let's say I wanted to open up YouTube. You can either open it directly in the center again, or if you move it to here, it will open up full screen. And now you have two things side to side, and you can move it around to however side you want to be bigger. And then on top of that, you can even open another app. You can take this again and open up the Messages app, for example. And you can do it like this, so it's just a pop view like I showed you before. Or if we close this out and we bring it back open again, you can actually drag it to either replace one, or you can drag it here at the bottom. So now you have Messages going on from the bottom, and also have YouTube going on the side. So it's really, really cool. And you can also make app groups too, which is really nice. So if I were to close all of this out, you can see that there's an app group already created for you. This is Safari and YouTube. So if you were to just tap on that, if that's something you use all the time, now you can kind of just click on those and they'll automatically open up for you. And you can easily get in there and have these two side by side ready to go. So app groups are really, really nice to actually be able to use. And you can swipe through some of these things that Samsung has. You can go through all the apps on here that you can open side to side. And you could do a lot of stuff with this sidebar. So right now, the only thing that's turned on is the apps. But you can see you can do live messages. You can have people sitting there, tasks, weather. So if I were to select the weather one, for example, and turn that on for the edge panels, now when I go out of here and I go through here, not only do I have the app icons that we saw before, but now I can scroll through and now get the weather here too. So really, really cool stuff that they have integrated with the multitasking that I'm really excited to dive into and get more into on here. But guys, this is just a quick overview of the actual tablet itself with this unboxing, and just to give you a little bit of a gist of what the S Pen can do and some of the multitasking and what that quality of the video is. My early impressions are I'm really, really impressed so far. The S Pen looks cool. The navigation on the side to do all this multitasking stuff is much better than what I see the iPad doing. And the quality of the screen is amazing. So now it's all about just diving in and taking a look at this and seeing what I can expect. But let me go ahead and get to the table and just give you guys a closing wrap up of this tablet. All right, guys, so that was the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. Now, I'm really excited about this tablet because, as you guys know, I had an iPad for probably the last 6 or 7 years at this point. I've always had an iPad. I did have an Android tablet a long, long time ago as one of my first tablets, and it was just not up to snuff at that point, like compared to an iPad was. The apps were just not there and all that stuff. And this tablet came along, and I got the Galaxy S20 Ultra. I was really happy with it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give the Android tablet another shake because the impressions of this were really good, and also because as somebody who's into gaming and now xCloud and Stadia and all those things are coming to only Android and iOS isn't allowing those apps, this is the perfect time for me to go back into there and see what Android has been cooking up. And I have to say, so far, with the early impressions that we did here, I'm really impressed with the actual tablet. But of course, now I have to dive into the tablet and see what makes this tablet, more comparable to the iPad. How I use it in my daily life when it comes to video editing, when I do Adobe Rush, which is the thing I'll be using on here. I used to use LumaFusion, which apparently there's no one-to-one comparison on there, but I heard Adobe Rush is pretty good, so that's what I'll be using on here. And just seeing how the app ecosystem fares on here, at least for the apps I use, because I know that apps on the iPad are still generally usually better as far as being optimized for tablets, but that's only if you're using certain applications. Like I use my applications for, web surfing, social media, watching videos, and playing games and these gaming applications. So I may not run into those issues that I used to run into before. So that's what I want to dive into, and I want to check out those applications. So there's still a lot left to see. The next video you guys will see will be the DeX mode, which I'm really excited to take a look into. So definitely stay tuned for that, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. But that's it for now, guys. Really, really impressed so far. But we'll see how it continues. If you guys have any questions about anything you guys have seen here today, as always, leave them down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.
Tech, gaming techie is the gaming tech, gaming techie, gaming tech. Eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a recce is the gaming tech, gaming techie is the gaming tech, gaming techie.